for you.
It
Crushing
feels
it
good.
Monday morning. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You look
Yeah.
great. Yeah. Stop.
You look okay.
Uh,
We'll work
I moisturize. I know. Oh, what? Oh, okay.
I have a program for you. Just kidding.
I'm super
Uh,
pumped. We did our doorway chin-up bar review yesterday. We ordered a bunch of chin-up bars. So now we just need to edit the video and put it up.
yeah,
So keep an eye
I'm
out for
excited
that.
for that.
Yeah, yeah, pumped. And then we're gonna do a bunch more stuff like that. I don't know why we haven't done that before.
Yeah, it was fun. There's going to be a lot more where that came from for sure. So yeah, we tested out 4 different at-home tune-up bars,
Yeah, kind
recorded
of.
it.
I was excited to check them out too because I've always been curious about, I bought one long time ago and I've just always used that one and I've never used any alternatives, but I was surprised at what we found out. That was kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah. No, it was interesting. So yeah, we'll be editing that video soon and having it up for you guys to take a look.
Yeah. So, and we're going to do more equipment. We're going to do rings and bands and do all these reviews and morning coach, and we're
Good.
going to give away one of the chin-up bars that we bought. Right?
Yes, yes. Not one of the bad ones.
But not one of the bad ones. Oh, and I was surprised. I was so surprised. Anyways, what else do we talk about today?
Just got off my spin bike, and I wanted to talk about other online platforms like Peloton, which for those who don't know is an online or at-home spin bike that comes with a program or programming or live classes or something. I'm not really sure exactly what they offer, but I'm interested to know more. If anybody has tried it, definitely chime in. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about other online fitness programs, platforms, and kind of break them down and see, what are the pros, what are the cons, just to kind of, yeah, help people spread some knowledge.
Yeah, so I haven't tried the Peloton for full disclosure, but I've chatted with a few people that do own it and that do like it. Now, the interesting thing to me is I should probably follow up with those people because, when you talk to them is when they first get it, right? And everyone's super excited about something that's brand new and shiny. And the question is will they continue to use that Peloton? A coach is asking what brand of bike that you have.
I'll have to go check because I just bought it used from a gym here in Kitchener that was closing down, unfortunately, because of COVID. So yeah, it's just one of those spin bikes that has the dial on it. Yeah, it's an old one, so I'm not really sure what the brand is. Should I go check? I'll do it.
You post it up later. I'm sure there are people that have questions. But yeah, so I've spoken to a few people right as they've gotten their Peloton, and they seem to really like it. The question is will it be something they'll continue to use, or will it become a very expensive clothes dryer?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Clothing rack. Yeah. For dirty clothes, clean clothes, right?
It's so true because I use mine for that too, but I still use my bike.
Listen, I think it's kind of a cool concept, and I just I want to put the caveat that anything that's going to get people to move and to participate in movement is a good thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So without knowing too much about it, just kind of surface level scan. Good morning, Michelle. Always good to see you here. But kind of just at surface level of what I know of it is you're not at home on your bike by yourself. There are a bunch of pre-recorded. I believe there are some live sessions you can participate in. And I think that's a good thing. I think that's going to motivate and inspire a lot of people and get a lot of people moving. I'm going to say that's definitely a bonus. I'm going to say one of the drawbacks is that it's just that. It's just a bike. And you're always going to be limited, unless you love biking, you're always going to be kind of limited to the benefits that you'll gain from that type of movement, right?
For sure. Yeah.
So again, any movement is good movement, right? Almost any movement. And if it's going to get people moving their bodies and burning calories and working hard, wonderful. And ultimately, I'll say this too. The best workout for an individual is one that they're going to stick to and do for a long time, right?
Yeah.
So if the Peloton is going to get you moving and get you to continue moving, then I'm going to say it's probably a good thing. That being said, there are a lot of drawbacks, and I think there are much better programs. Like we always say, good, better, best scale. And do I think that's on the best? No, absolutely not. I don't think so.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. You know what? I love spinning. I love biking. It's one of my preferred types of cardio. And we can do another live on that as well.
I hate it, by the way.
Biking, cycling?
I hate it. It's the worst. It's like a terrible idea.
The first couple times, you're kind of sore on your bottom. But I just do nice quick hits on them. So nice quick 10-minute interval or something like that. I'm not ready to go for a nice cycle to Belleville.
It seems so uncomfortable, number one. But I'm the same way, but I choose the rower. For me, I've got a Concept 2 rower, and I love it. And 1 to 2 hit sessions per week. I think it's phenomenal, and it's total body. I think it's incredible. But again, for a spin bike like you have or a rower like I have, you're not going to have that. You have to be intrinsically motivated to do it. You're not going to have that external person that's on the screen with you like Peloton has, and I think they did a really good job at that, right?
Yeah. Yes, and so the thing with those, so you're always moving in the the frontal plane?
Yeah, in that linear motion, that linear plane, right? So
you're always going, in that one plane, which is, so that's why I kind of wanted to bring it up and break it down a little bit. Number one, are you even cycling properly? So this is a big thing in any spin classes that I've noticed, and it's not to anyone's fault except for the instructor or the coach if you're not coaching people correctly on how to actually spin or cycle your bike. So for instance, if you're moving a lot side to side and your hips are dipping side to side, then you're not cycling properly. Right. You shouldn't be shifting a lot in your body. It just should be your legs doing the work. And that's often a lot of people who I see biking, even outside. They are really, maybe their seat isn't even the right height, things like that. And I'm just oh, I want to help you.
Well, that's a good point. The thing that I'm going to bring up here, and coach is asking people with pain in their knees when walking. We'll talk about that. But here's the thing with what my real concern is with things like the spin bike and the Peloton or even the rower. You must do things to offset that movement. If that's not a natural human movement to sit there and bike for an extended period of time, you're going to put yourself in shortened ranges. And if you don't do movements to offset or prepare yourself for that, and to help to work the other ranges, so work lateral movement, for example, you can develop some real problems for yourself. And I've seen it. I've worked with other spin instructors. Yeah, look at that arch in the back, right? Yeah, and shortening the hip flexors. Again, not using, the way we train in the Hop 90 XT. If you want to create healthy joints, if you want good connective tissue, you must explore the end ranges, and you must strengthen those end ranges. You have to. I'm going to do a post just to stir the shit pot a little bit, but And I was going to say, bodybuilding is the sport of creating shitty connective tissue, right?
Right.
And that's what it is, because they train in shortened ranges. And you see all these posts. I've seen it, and I know people personally. I mean, I tore my bicep from creating shitty connective tissue.
I was there for that.
Yeah, years of training in short ranges, and had to have surgery to repair it. And I see this all the time. I see bodybuilders having tearing pecs, tearing biceps. It's a common thing because they're creating shitty connective tissue. And here's the reality for anyone that's listening. You're probably training like a bodybuilder, because that's the entire fitness industry. If you're training for aesthetics, just because you're not putting on bulk, you're still training in that manner. You're still doing that damage to the connective tissue. And I'm always debating in my head, is the risk worth the reward? Sure. But why not do it a better way?
Right.
Why not just do it the best way?
For sure. And you know what? Yeah, if you're obviously, if you're working out, that's great. Step number one. But yeah, then dialing in the goals and really thinking longevity, because this is your life. This is your body, your meat vehicle.
Your meat vehicle. Yeah, you only have one, right? That's right. So a couple things. So I think the Peloton is great. I think spinning is great. Absolutely, Michelle, you nailed it. What about mixing up the workouts, like Hop 90 XT and then a class from the gym another day? Then I love it. Absolutely, I think that's great. As long as kind of your core foundational work is done in a proper manner, full ranges with intention, all that stuff, I encourage you to mix it up and do some other stuff. I know, Coach D and I, we do other things too. Rock climbing. She does spinning. We try and go and do other activities. I know, like, I haven't been great yet this summer, but doing things like slacklining and just exploring your physicality in different ways. And your strength training program should make you better at those other things. So if you're doing a proper strength training program, it should make you better at spinning. The thing is that spinning won't necessarily make you better at other aspects of your life, and in fact might make things worse, right?
Love it.
Hiking, climbing, all of these things are natural human movement, right? To run, crawl, roll, sprint, invert, climb, all those things are natural human movements that we should be exploring, right?
Yeah, I know, and I love that you said that, because I know you've said before about running. You shouldn't run to get in shape. You should get in shape to run.
Absolutely. People need to understand this. And oh, by the way, I've got a question.
Oh, okay.
Why, when people, because clearly they're just starting to run, you can tell, but when summer rolls around, why do people go running in the middle of the day on the hottest days of the year? Why?
Oh, I don't know. They're like, I want to get a tan too, but then they end up getting heat exhaustion.
Yeah, first of all, I'll be honest with you, running for long distances is not my favorite thing to do. It sounds awful, first of all.
Yeah.
All good, I get it. I listen, I'm saying that in jest. I work with runners, but I'll also tell you the common ailments that I see in runners. Horrific hips, feet are terrible, knee pain, all of these things. And they push through these things. You need to get in shape to run. Running should not be a terrible experience. You should not have pain from running. And if you do, you need to figure that out. That's not a good thing. And most runners have shitty feet. Most runners have horrible knees and have hips that don't rotate, because again, they're constantly working in that one plane of motion, and they don't do any rotational or lateral movement. So over time, that's going to wear on your joints and will wear your joints down, right? You need to do the work to offset that and to prepare you for running.
For sure. And then there's gait training. Like if you have a coach, they're going to look at your gait. So how your stride is. A lot of people don't even run correctly. So if the heel strike should go before the toe strikes type of situation. But that's tying into a lot of the knee issues that runners have. If you are having pain when you're running, then a coach can help you figure out how to run properly with your gaits, but then, also give you the mobility, the strengthening at end ranges, which will even propel you further.
I literally worked with people. There's one client of mine that comes to mind who she came to me after she used to be a runner. She loves running. 12 years she hasn't been able to run because of knee pain. Worked with her for less than 2 months, and she's running back distances further than she was running before. And knee pain is gone, right? So it's doable. You do not have to run with pain. That's a terrible thing. So Coach, going back to Coach Holly's question, good option for people with pain in their knees when they walk. Yeah, strength training, right? But doing so in a proper manner. So starting to build from the ground up. So oftentimes knee pain is a result of poor and weak feet, right? So we start to train the feet, and we start to slowly and progressively build the knees back up, and working with the minimal effective dose. So doing the least amount of work possible to get a result, but just before we cause pain. And then progressively over time, progressively overloading those tissues. We need to understand that as human beings, we are biological adaptive organisms, which means with the correct stress, your tissues will rebuild with greater resiliency. Okay?
I love it.
With the correct dose of stress. Absolutely, Coach. So we start to train barefoot. We start to work Poliquin step-ups. We start to work calf raises, tib raises, all of these things done with the correct intention behind the movement and understanding. And this is the difference, Coach, I know you were asking this before. This is the difference between these $10 a month programs, right? And other programs like ours, where you actually receive feedback and a certain level of customization that's going to help you, right? So these $10 a month programs, first of all, if you're not getting feedback from the coach on your movements, if they're not able to see your movements and provide feedback, you could be doing the movements wrong, and you could be causing more damage, more harm than good, right? Yeah. I can't tell you the number of people that have come to me and said, yeah, I was doing this online program and I hurt my shoulder, hurt my knee, hurt this, hurt that. Of course, right?
Yeah. We've been testing out some of those other platforms too. There's lots out there, and we have purchased some or borrowed some from friends and checked them out, and it's all the same thing. Like, there's kettlebell swings, which is a very complex movement, and a lot of people can injure themselves with kettlebells and stuff like that. It's great. Yeah, $10 if you want some $10 results and a possible injury.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? There's a chance. I don't want to knock them all, right? Yeah. But ultimately, go try them. It's $10, right? So. You know what? Have a few less coffees this week and go get yourself a $10 program. All good. But you're right, though. I mean, for a $10 program, you're going to get $10 results. You will, most likely. High risk of injury. Guys, honestly, I've done this for so long, and I've worked with so many coaches that if you want the best results in the shortest amount of time, find a good coach that has a good programming that's produced results, right? The reality is a lot of these $10 a month programs, the trainers or coaches that are doing them, those aren't the programs that they did to get them the results that they have.
Right. That's a good point too. Yeah.
Right? It's true. I mean, I can look at the physique, I can look at the person, and I can tell you right now, they're not doing that. They're just doing what they think will sell.
Yes.
Our programs have come from and have been designed from years of research and years of application.
Yeah.
Right? So we've gotten the results for people. Go on our Instagram pages. Go on my page. Go on the Move Strong page, and you can see the work that we've gotten with people who have gotten chin-ups and pull-ups and pistol squats and handstands and all that stuff. guys, it works. It works. And the beauty,
Exciting.
yeah, the beauty is that you can submit videos, and we, not some bots, but the coaches will give you feedback on your form, so you know you're doing things well, and it can also create some accountability for you as well. If you want to get the most out of our programming, submit videos.
Yes.
Right?
You
Why
have
would
to.
you want that feedback? Like, to have a coach analyze your form from a video perspective and give you detailed feedback, that's so invaluable to your progress. It's crazy to me.
Well, because even I'll record myself doing handstands and stuff, which I'm still learning, but just specific movements. And then you'll give me feedback that I wouldn't have known myself. I'm like, I'm a coach, I'm a fitness trainer. So I'm like, okay, having another set of eyes is extremely valuable. And that makes it good.
I have coaches. Coaches need coaches.
Yeah.
Coaches need coaches, right? If you truly believe in the power, that drives me nuts. I've been teaching for a long time, and I've had other coaches come to my classes, and they've said, hey, like, don't tell anyone I was here because I don't want them to think that I was being coached. And I'm like, what are you? That doesn't even make sense to me. That's such a
people don't really want to associate with you. That's probably why.
Well, okay, that. No, but I think they have this fear of people, like you said, you submit your handstand work to me for review because that's something that you're working on. But guess what? I submit my handstand work to my coach for review and feedback because I'm constantly trying to improve, right? There's no end game here. You're not done, right? There's no you finished. There's always another, you'll never peak. There's always, and that's the beautiful part of the style of training that we do, is that constant and consistent progression over years, which is the other drawback with these $10 a month programs and these Peloton programs. Great, they're training your cardiovascular system, which is super important. But once you've adapted to that, like 80% of your results are going to come within the first 6, 8, 10, 12 weeks. Then what?
Right.
Then what? Then it's small incremental gains. And trust me, when I tell you, for quality of life, yes, cardiovascular is important for the health of your heart and lungs. Always do it, for sure, forever. But if you want to live a good quality of life, you must strength train. Nothing will give you the benefits that you will gain from strength training. No other style of training will. Strength is the mother of all qualities. If you want to have a high quality of life, strength train. As we age, if you want to be able to open a jar of pickles on your own, who doesn't love pickles, right? That's quality of life, to have strength in your wrist and your hands and your arms, right? I had a client message me the other day, and she said, I was out for a hike with my boys and we hopped a fence. And she was like, I hopped a fence. That's why we train. That's why we do these things, right? That's quality of life, right?
Yeah.
When you're two young boys, think, Mom, like, you hopped that fence like it was nothing. That the confidence that gives you, that's life changing, right?
For sure.
As we age and we hear these stories of these individuals who fall and break a bone from falling, that's not because they didn't do enough cardio on their Peleton bike.
Yeah.
Not why. It's because they didn't do enough strength training. They didn't do enough balancing on one leg. If you're 80 and you can do a pistol squat, which, by the way, I've seen this easily. If you're 80 and you can do a pistol squat, the odds of you falling and breaking a bone or not having a high quality of life, slim to none.
I love it.
Think about that.
Yeah. Yeah, pistol squats are tough too. But
I think everyone should be able to do a pistol squat. Everyone. There's no reason anyone should not be able to do one. And a pull-up. I think everyone should have. That's a fundamental human aspect. Is, hey, listen, if you can't do a pull-up, You can't do a pistol squat. If you can't get yourself into a full deep squat for a resting position and stay there for 2 minutes, you need to reach out to us immediately.
Mm-hmm.
You must, because these are the things that are going to improve your quality of life.
I love it. These are actually giving me ideas for other live talks and challenges.
Yeah.
Okay. Like writing it down. I love it.
How would your life improve if you could easily at any point in time just do a quick pistol squat? Just a one-legged squat, all the way down, all the way up.
Oh, I thought you were going to do one.
You're probably living a good life. You probably don't have issues with your feet, ankles, knees, hips, lower back. You probably don't.
Yeah.
Right? That's called freedom of movement options. And if things like abs and good looking arms and all this stuff is important to you, which I'm not saying it's not, we are visual beings, but to attain those things is much easier when you have access to all movement.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what? I know like Peloton has, I think, weights included in some of the classes that they do, but then again, that's tying into separating strength training and cardio, which we've talked about before. But yeah, so again, there's pros and cons with everything, but just tying it back to strength training for longevity, living for, getting that quality of life in. Living your best life.
Yeah, incredible. And why wouldn't we all want to do that? Why would you want to live your best life? So I'll go back. Sorry, just want to make sure we answer Coach Holly's question. We did a post. We did a post in the Facebook group about the power of walking. And that alone, I think people underestimate. But if you're doing nothing else but 3 10-minute walks per day, can be incredibly powerful in terms of improving your insulin sensitivity and your ability to metabolize glucose. So after you're done your meal, go for a short 10-minute walk. It could be life-changing, could produce incredible results. If you are in pain, again, aim for that minimal effective dose. Don't push it, and start with a 2-minute walk.
Yeah.
Start with 2 minutes and assess. Do 2 minutes for a week and see how you feel. If it causes pain, regress and do 1 minute. If it doesn't cause pain after a week, go for 2.5 minutes, right? By no other way will you get to 10 minutes other than by starting and progressively overloading in time. Now, don't jump to 10 minutes and cause yourself pain, and then you're going to reinforce that pain pattern, and you might not be able to walk for the next 2 weeks. Don't do that.
Yeah.
We're in this for the long game, right?
That's true. Yeah.
And if you are, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I said you shouldn't be in a rush. I too think that is something that I'm still trying to get people to realize, that it's not just about how you look. Like obviously that plays into how you feel and everything like that. But if you're in a rush to lose a bunch of weight, then we should be talking about nutrition as well. But then again, so we're focusing on fitness. What does fitness mean to you? It's how your body can move, and again, longevity, quality of life.
Absolutely.
Move well.
Yeah. Move really well. That's where confidence comes from, right? Abs can be fleeting. Abs, they come and they go. Now, assuming your nutrition is on point and you've developed a strong physical practice that you've committed to, those things will come. They'll happen.
Right.
But that shouldn't be your goal. Your goal should be to move well. Your goal should be to have movement options and freedom, to move freely without pain. Because when you have those options, then attaining that aesthetic appeal, attaining that aesthetic look, you'll probably already be there, right? You'll be close anyways. And then it's just a matter of tweaking your training. But without movement options, chasing that aesthetic appeal, I see this all the time, can degrade joints, can cause more pain, can be frustrating, can be a horrible journey, right? And then strive for that finish line, and then people stop, and then it becomes, oh, I used to have abs, right?
Yeah.
But when you have these abilities to do pull-ups and squats and all of those things to full range of motion, pain-free with strength, no one can take that away from you unless you stop that as well, right?
Right.
But once you have those movement options, those last, those linger for a long period of time, right? Strength takes a long time to build, but it also takes a long time to go away.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Muscle memory.
Yeah.
Kick back in, jump right
Whereas
back in.
just eat like shit for a month and your abs are gone.
Yeah.
Right? That simple. So anyways.
So don't do that.
Don't do that. Yeah. Awesome. All right, coach, let's wrap it up.
All right. Well, yeah, thanks for chatting with me about that. But I'm interested too to also know for anybody listening, what is it that they're looking for in an online platform, online program for fitness? Drop a comment, let us know.
And if you've tried something that you really like, let us know too. Like if you have the Peloton and you're loving it and it's getting great results, we want to hear about that too. I'd love to hear. So we have this perspective. Yeah, awesome. Incredible. Appreciate you, Michelle, Coach Holly. Thank you guys for watching.
I can't see any of the comments. Nothing's coming up on my screen. This is so weird.
Oh, well, they were talking shit about you the whole time. So.
It's okay. I know that they wouldn't. So. Girl power. Okay.
All right, Coach. Have a good day. We'll chat later.
Okay. See you.
Thank you.